Hi guys, how you all doing? My name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. You'll have to excuse me. I haven't got anything ready yet. I haven't had a cup of tea. I've just literally got up, taken my dog out for a walk early, come back, and I'm so hot I've just been sat in front of the fans. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 7:33 a.m.
It's 7:33 a.m. now. I have been up since 5 this morning. 5? Just after 5-ish. So I just want to talk about gang stalking and street theatrics and how, especially when you're stalked by neighbours, how it affects your mental health, and how it these people try to drag you down and make you look mad and stupid. And it's organised gang stalking. It's organised. They're doing it on purpose. I don't know if they're paid or getting something for this harassment towards myself. It's hard to prove that you're telling the truth. It's very difficult to prove that you're being gang stalked because the gang stalkers try and make out you're mad and it's all in your head. This is why I'm photographing every vehicle, every one of these obscure number plates, and the noises that are going on first thing in the morning, like stupid o'clock when people are asleep or should be. So I'm cataloguing it and I'm remaining cool, calm and collected, and trying to prove that I am not crazy. So one of the tortures that gang stalkers do is keep you awake, right? Because when you don't have any sleep, especially for a number of days, you become susceptible to their persuasion, whether it's trying to get something out of you, or when you have lack of sleep, you get very irritable as well over silly stupid things, and that can make you look mad. So basically I'm being gang stalked by neighbours and people I don't even know. I've never met them. It's different ones each day. They come out of nowhere. I think they're being paid, or they might be friends or relatives of somebody that just doesn't like me. So basically, when I first moved into this flat, a bit of background history, and then I'll tell you what went on today. When I moved into this flat, the first week I moved in, it was absolutely quiet. It was quiet. My dad was alive then, and my mum said, "Can you give me your address?" My mother said, "Can you give me your address and your phone number?" So you trust your mum, trust your parents. So I wrote my address and my phone number on a piece of paper and gave it to my mother. Up to that point, living in this flat was lovely. It was lovely. It was quiet. It was lovely. No problems. I came back from going to my mum and dad's in Chatham, and the very next day I started to get harassment. People were moving into the flats. It was a new build block of flats in 2020. I moved into these flats in August 2020. New build flats. The couple next door had a black dog at that time, and then they got rid of it. They said they couldn't look after it because I imagine they both went to work at that time. I don't know. They were talking to me at that time. The guy spoke to me. He said, "Are you the lady that's moving into the flat next door to us?" He went, "Well, it's a nice place apart from the guy upstairs. There's a guy upstairs who mouths off." And I thought, oh my God, that's warning bells, isn't it? There's a man upstairs that's got a big mouth. Right? He said, we've gone up to him and had a word with him, so it should be okay. right? And I was walking into Chatham and this guy was behind me. The man next door was right behind me. Tattooed tall guy, and he came up to me and he said, yeah, everything's fine apart from the guy upstairs. And I didn't know who he was talking about because I just moved in. So over that weekend, there started to, the noise was horrific, and I just put it down to people moving in. I put it down to people moving in, and I took no notice of it. But a month after moving into this property, when people should have settled down, the guy upstairs that was living at that time with his girlfriend up there, and these kids were screaming. They were screaming. They were banging. The woman was using foul language. She was effing and blinding and swearing. They were up at 3 a.m. They were having takeaways, and right above my bedroom, they were having takeaways and waking me up. I didn't want to go upstairs and confront them. I just thought, I thought, oh, it's just like moving in hiccups. 3 months down the line, and I wasn't sleeping. I was awake all night. The kids were screaming. She was mouthing off. They were arguing, and I wasn't getting any sleep. And they was also smoking weed on the balcony. The pair of them were smoking weed joints on the balcony. So I thought, oh, this is great. New build building. Yeah. And where have these guys come from? They're smoking drugs, and it's just, oh my god, it's like something out of a movie. What the hell is this? The noise was terrible, and they were still building the flats opposite, so you had all the tractors going up and down the road, so I had noise from opposite. They were still building the flats. It was under scaffolding. The neighbours were driving me crazy upstairs, and I just confided in my son. I said, I can't stand this. He said, Mum, you've just moved in. For goodness sake, you've just moved into a property. I said, I know, you wouldn't believe it. So I reported it to the housing. The housing told me to noise sheets, standard practice, 6 months of noise sheets. And I just could not bear to be inside my flat. I was walking out at night in the dark to get away from the noise. It was going on to the early hours of the morning. And I'm not a young woman wandering around the streets in the dark. And the housing said to me, why don't you go upstairs and bang on the door? I said, you're asking a single woman that's been through abuse by men to go and knock on what could be abusive man's door? I said, no, I'm not knocking on the door. Because they say mediation, he's a bloke and I'm a woman. I'm not knocking on the door. I've heard fights, I've heard swearing. I'm not knocking on the door. So I put this note. My son said, why don't you try putting a note on the door, on the doorstep? I thought, well, I don't know what that's going to achieve. Putting a note on his doormat. Anyway, I did. And my son said to me, you can't leave a note on his doorstep like that. I said, I'm being kept awake all night, every night. They're swearing, drugs. I said, what do you want me to say? He said, well, just, tone it down a bit. So I did. I just put, can you just please consider that I have disablements, and the noise that your kids are making on top of my ceiling is driving, is loud. And I said, please, it didn't stop. It got worse. It got 50 times worse. It sounded like someone was throwing furniture above the ceiling, literally throwing stuff. I was terrified in my home in the early hours of the morning. I was looking out my spy hole. I thought someone was going to come downstairs and beat me up. It was that bad. And then all of a sudden, she moved out. His girlfriend moved out, and she must have got a place to live. She moved out, and she took the kids with her. And he must have access to them, because now he brings them home every weekend. But I feel like I'm being terrorized in my own home and stalked and harassed, and I don't know where it's coming from. And messages as well of a sexual nature and bullying and picking on me because of what I look like. And I've gone through domestic violence and a lot of fucking shitty crap stuff. I just rack it in. So that's the background history. I don't know what's going on with those next door. They just started picking on me for no reason. They just started. They got this dog, this dachshund. After when I moved in, they had a black dog. Then they got rid of it, and then I don't know how long ago it was. It was recently. They got this dachshund, and it's big. It's not a small one. It's massive, and it squeals, and it barks, and they just started picking on me for no reason. I'm doing my social media. I'm just, sharing photos and stuff, and they start picking on me. Every time I go on the balcony, the dachshund started barking. I couldn't go on the balcony. I couldn't hang my washing out. It was awful. And it was scratching like it was going to pull the balcony down and come and get me. It was awful. Somebody else noticed it as well. They said, what the hell's going on there with that dog? Somebody else noticed it. And every time I went to the bin store, it made me jump out my skin. And then I walked under the balcony and the guy went, fucking move. Fuck off. When I was walking underneath, there was an old lady in front of me. The language. And I went, that's nice language. I mean, it's right in front of an old lady. I went, is that language necessary? And he went back in, and she started going, meh, 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 meh. And then I went, meh, 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 back, and came back into the flats. And then now they've started. Grown adults acting like babies. And I've got to live with this animosity towards myself, which is very, very difficult. It is. It's just horrible. And so that's the background history. So somebody just really, really is trying to drive me around the bend crazy, keeping me awake and making me look like I'm crazy, and I'm not. And I'm not an old lady. My mother Jennifer is 79. I'm not old. And I want to express myself. I don't want to go outside in the hot weather in a thick coat and trousers. Anyway, so this morning, right, last night, the guy upstairs parks his car outside my bedroom window. He gets up for work at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm awake. Sometimes I'm awake at 5. He stomps his feet on the ceiling. He's not quiet. He's a heavy-set bloke. So his car's parked outside my bedroom window. I've got the window open, right? They're noisy next door. He gets up for work early as well. He gets up. You can hear them rattling about. My bed, you just don't sleep, you don't sleep. You just lie there and rest and don't sleep. So basically, he gets up for work at 5. I'm woken up. I get up and and then he'll come down the stairs, maybe go to the bin, bang it about 5:45 in the morning. So he gets in the car, and then it's a 2002 Ford Mondeo. It takes ages to get the engine started. So he sat in there, putting his roll-ups, doing his roll-ups, smoking his fag, and then it 5-10 minutes, well, not that long, but then the engine is loud and the fumes coming back from the exhaust pipe. It looks like a cloud of smoke. He drives off, turns around and goes off. I'm woken up. I can't go back to sleep. 5 minutes later, the guy from next door, bang, the front door, shakes the bedroom wall. I'm up already. I've been woken up. So I sit down and I think, shall I try and get some rest? And I thought, no, let's walk the dog, right? And it's warm at just after 6. It's hot. It's boiling. It's boiling in here. It's 26 degrees in this flat last night. 26 degrees. 26 degrees inside the flat. It's like a sauna. No air conditioning. So I'm sweating buckets and I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm going to take Max out early and then I don't have all that shit that, about 9, 9:30, the cleaners and all the crap. So I thought, I'm going to go out. So I just chucked anything on and I went out the door, and you could see the street theatrics first thing in the morning. The people dressed in their backpacks like Mutant Ninja Turtles, dressed in odd colours and weird clothing, and backpacks and fucking shit. And so yeah, my mum's ringing. My mother is ringing the phone, guys. It's early. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Organised gang stalking. My mother's ringing the phone. She doesn't get up this early. Or if she gets up, she doesn't ring me. So she's rung the phone. He's woken me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Jennifer's ringing me at 8 o'clock. They want to know where you are, what you're doing. Right? Organised gang stalking involving my mother. I've got into my Facebook and it's been going on for ages. The distress that I had in my other flat there's records of it going back to 2019 when this character Pi Zygote from Australia started stalking and harassing me. Pi Zygote, what's his name? Mr. Waddington started harassing me for something I never did, and I went to my doctors about it, and I reported him to the Kent police. There's not much they could do because Pi Zygote's in Australia. He started stalking me online and harassing me, and he threatening as well. He accused me of being involved with Brian Harvey, and I haven't even met Brian Harvey. He's paranoid and he's not well. He said that I was involved with Brian Harvey in 2015. That's when I got beaten up, by the way. I got beaten up in 2015. So he said that I was involved with Brian Harvey, and I was involved with MI5. He's paranoid. He's probably got schizophrenia. He threatened me, and I started to get constantly harassed after that. Constantly. Pi Zygote in Australia, he was absolutely offensive and disgusting and threatened me online in 2019. I don't know what he's talking about. I am a ordinary woman. I didn't even know who he was until I went into Brian Harvey's live chat, and there you go. So it could be one harasser, it could be many. So you've got the online stalking that's come from Pi Zygote, and you've got the stalking that's coming around from here, because I reported the neighbour to the council after many desperate measures. I tried to stop it before I went to the council and it wouldn't stop. It was driving me doolally. I gave them ample chances to stop that noise and it just kept going on and on and on and on. It was driving me mad. Along with the online stalking with Pi Zygote, I went to the doctors in 2020 because this Australian guy was just being cruel and nasty to me, and I've never met him. Spreading rumours online about something I didn't even know what he was talking about. And he was inciting hatred and violence towards me, Pi Zygote. So I went out with Max and it was hot, people about, going to work, people in Costas. I walked onto the field, it was very, very hot at 6, 20, 25, 30. Started walking around the field, people on the field. There was a woman with large breasts walking on her own, and I mean large breasts. And why have I brought that into it? Because the stalker is obsessed with boobs, breasts, boobs. So you've got a woman walking around, right, with really large breasts, walking a dog. And then you've got 3 people walking together, and one is an old woman with the same colour hair as me, walking with a man with a baseball cap, and the woman's got a really, really big dog. It's really big. And there was another guy with a dog called Betty, which is slang for Elizabeth, which was the name of our queen. Very, very hot. I kept my cool. I didn't get cross because I'm videotaping for evidence and taking photographs for evidence as well, because these number plates are exclusive. They obviously belong to somebody that's got a hell of a load of money while I'm living on benefits. They're exploiting me. They keep asking me to go over to WhatsApp. Can I have some more photographs? And when I say no, they go, all right then. And then I get attacked outside and abused because I won't give this guy photographs, or a woman, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, pressurising me for photographs. All right then, it's like that, is it? And then they obviously know people, because I start getting harassed and bullied and I don't get no sleep. And it's obviously someone in another country, because they're awake. When we go to bed, they're awake. And then there's that Tattle Life, that piece in Tattle Life they wrote about me. And I'm not even famous, I'm not a celebrity. And they spread it all over the internet about my father abusing me and making fun of it. Making fun of it, of abuse, child abuse, making fun of it. What a childish mind they've got, absolutely childish. Making fun of child abuse and what I'd been through. It's absolutely disgusting. This person needs locking up. And I hope they get a prison sentence for constant stalking somebody that's done nothing wrong. And stalking is an imprisonable offence. They can go to jail for it, and I'm trying to prove it. I'm not going out anywhere this afternoon because it's hot and it's sticky. Right, so coming off the field, the old lady that was talking to a young man with a baseball cap, and he had an Irish accent. He was Irish. So this Irish guy and this old lady were on the path, and I needed to get past. So I just walked past them. There's a blonde woman with a curly brown haired dog, and she's just hanging about, hovering. And it's like she was actually watching what I was doing. She kept looking at me. She sat on a bench. When I walked past the bench, she got up and started walking. So they watch and stalk. And then they relay where you are to somebody else. I don't know who they are. It's different people every day. I wouldn't have gone out at 6:15. But the guy upstairs woke me up at 5. As you know, at the weekend, I was woken up on a Saturday, 3 minutes before 5 o'clock in the morning. Sunday, just after 5 on a Sunday, when most people have gone out on a Saturday evening and want to sleep on a Sunday, lie in. They keep waking me up early in the morning. And I haven't got to go to work. I haven't got to go anywhere, but I'm woken up and I can't get back to sleep. And it's a hell of a long day when you're woken up at 5 and you're not going anywhere and you're stuck indoors all day. It's horrible. It's relentless as well. Absolutely relentless. They just will not stop. So I've been going through my phone and I'm dragging up evidence from 2019 and 20, trying to find out where this is coming from. So I came back off the field. I wasn't cross. I was taping it. I've also got a tape of the noise that was going on. They were in the Mercedes-Benz building at 6, and everybody walks past, they don't drill. When I walk past the Mercedes-Benz building, they start drilling like it's a dentist chair. And I've got all the evidence of the dentist abuse, the abuse at the dentist, where a certain dentist did unnecessary treatment on 6 of my teeth and I had to have them extracted. Right? I've got all this abuse. And they all think they've got away with it. But you know, like some of these things that happened 20 years ago, like these abuse victims, like 20 years ago, getting compensation after 20 years of being abused and mistreated. So this is going to be big. It's going to be big. And they are trying to keep me indoors and shut my mouth. This is big. This is going on since I was a kid. My dad used to beat my mother in parks and nobody would help my mum. He used to beat her with cider bottles, and I was a little kid stood there watching my mother get beaten by a beast, and they were just stood there and no one was helping her. So what the fuck is this? What the fuck is it? And you can't keep saying people are mentally unwell and let men abuse women. That's disgusting. I've been abused all my life by several men, and you can't keep saying a woman is mentally ill so that men can carry on abusing me. You can't do that. And now we've got that Charlie hovering about, yeah? That Charlie. Oh dear, dear, dear. Hello, pretty. Hello, dear. Yeah, well, you can fuck off and all. He got away with it. What he did. And while he was putting his hands all over me, those fucking bitches and were walking around the field laughing. They was all laughing. Walking around with a toothless, smelly old man. And now they want me to go up and see my mother, yeah? And make out, I'm Mad Jennifer. That's what they're doing. So they can keep on abusing me. That's what they've been doing since I come down in 2008. I've been repeatedly sexually abused and assaulted. And they've all stood there and watched and let it happen, including business people in caravan parks. Caravan parks. Someone needs to investigate who owned the caravan park and let this go on. Holiday homes. And how many poor innocent women is this happening to? Where people turn a blind eye and let people get abused. And they're working for companies. And housing. Letting perverts rent out flats so that women can get abused in them. You can bloody stop it. You're not getting anything out of me anymore. See you later.